Like, if I call you my brother, you know what it is. And breaking the code, I could be calm, cool, collective. If we start wilding, I'm changing the mode.
All right, everybody, welcome to Conversation Corner here on the Harding Way. My name is DJ Harding, and to here with me today, I have Jarrett Martin. Jarrett, how you doing?
I'm doing great, DJ. How you doing?
I'm doing good myself. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, Jarrett is a linebacker from the University of Rhode Island. And the big reason why he's on here is pertaining to Thursday, the NFL draft. So first, we'll open up quick with you, Jarrett. What led you to declaring for the NFL draft?
It's always been a dream of mine to play at the highest level possible, and I've always known my athleticism. It was always there. I had the potential to do great things with my athleticism, and I just thought, hey, why not me? Why not give it a shot? Why not give it all I got and try to make it to the next level, because it's definitely doable and it's possible, and it's been always a dream of mine. So let's get after it. And yeah, that made me declare.
Yeah, and you're talking about chasing the dream. So I just want to ask you, how has that process been, like the draft process itself, in chasing this dream of the NFL?
Dude, let me tell you, it's been a blessing. Don't get me wrong, but it's definitely been a stressful process. I mean, there's a lot of things that play into it. There's a lot of things that go into this whole process, and it's not for the weak. I could say that. Coming from a small school, it's a lot more demanding on you to like show up every day with the right mindset, the right mentality, and just even on bad days when you're not feeling it, you got it. You're already coming down. You're coming from a small school, so that's already not in your favor with the draft and everything like that. So you got to times it by 10, everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is no, "Oh, I don't want to work out today." Like, every day is go, 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 grind, 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 and no days off, for real, for real. So it's been a blessing, because it's a lot of things I've been learning recently about myself, about the whole process, and I love it. But it's definitely stressful for sure. But it's good. It's good.
Yeah, and you were speaking about being a small school. So the University of Rhode Island's FCS. So I have to ask you, did you ever feel the need to go to the FBS and play Power Five, maybe for those bigger looks?
I definitely did. I definitely was. It was definitely in my mind a lot. After season, I'd be like, hey, like, I might have to, if I want to play at this next level, they're gonna want to see film at the FBS level at a Power Five school. But we got the fortunate chance to play bigger schools once a year at URI, and as long as I put on film and put good film together and compete at that level and show them I could play against these guys like Pitt, like Georgia State. If I can ball out against these guys, I could. They're gonna see me. You know what I'm saying? Like, the scouts are gonna see regardless. But yeah, the whole FBS thing. I've thought about transferring and everything, but I'm a big loyal guy. I pride myself on loyalty. URI took a big chance on me. I have nothing but respect for that program, that university. I've thought about hitting the portal and everything like that, with all the NIL deals going around and everything like that, and the opportunities you could get at bigger schools. But I pride myself on loyalty, so I stuck it out and wanted to be a Ram for life. So I ended up just staying, and the odds aren't in my favor as far as coming from a smaller school. But I mean, I liked playing with a little chip on my shoulder. I like playing with some grit, you know what I'm saying? So it was no big deal for me. I knew if I have the talent, I'm going to be seen no matter what school I'm at.
Yeah, and then you speak of like loyalty to Rhode Island and being a Ram for life. So I want to take a chance to look back on your time at Rhode Island and ask you, what was your favorite college football memory?
Wow. You know, Overall, I'd say the locker room camaraderie. But like, working out with the dogs every day, showing up, even though we may not want to be there that morning or anything like that. Just the fact that we had each other side by side, like, just the brotherhood overall is probably my best memory. I'll always cherish that forever. But if we're talking in game, like playing, I'd probably say, and I tell people this all the time, I'd probably say the Elon pick six I had. It was 10-10, fourth quarter. I ended up getting a pick six to seal the game, and that I'd say was a very special moment for me. I was going through a lot of hardship during that time. And, I had talks with my parents, talks with God, and talks with my God. And, I was just going through a lot that week, actually that month. And that week especially, I just I had a rough week, and I ended up balling out that game. Ended up being the defensive player of the week for the conference, and I'd say that whole overall memory and experience is probably my favorite experience with Rhodey.
And then you speak about like the hardships, and a lot of times there's always that thing you look to inspire you. So I just want to quickly ask, like, who inspires you personally?
For one, my dad for sure. But who I give my glory to is Jesus Christ, my Savior.
Yeah, and then I was gonna ask you about that because I realized in like before the interview, I did a lot of like looking at some of your posts and stuff, and I saw the trend of always thinking God. So I was like, what role does religion play in your life?
Man, that's that's the reason I'm here, man. You know, the love God has for us is I can't even explain it. It's something that I definitely cherish. Every day I wake up, I try to have a quiet time, pray, thank God for my health, my well-being, and the family I have around me. I wouldn't be in the place I am today. None of us would be if it wasn't for him. So I try to think about every accomplishment I made, every hardship I go through. Just know that I have that faith, and I have God by my side, and I can get through anything with him. And the only reason I'm playing at this level is because of him. So I try to, glorify him as much as possible so that the world can see it, because it's a very dark world we live in. And the only thing I can do is really shed light to this dark world. And by doing that is just glorifying God through all my, social media posts, when I'm in person, and just try to be a good child of God, and show that to other people, and spread my lightness throughout this world. So
Yeah, and then you mentioned social media, so this is we're going to take a quick jump here. I saw one of the posts you had where you invited to a Patriots local camp. So being from Massachusetts, like how did that feel?
dude, that was I keep telling people that was probably one of the coolest experiences I've had. Something I'll cherish forever. As far as just being able to play in front of those coaches in that organization, it was definitely a dream come true. And just being there, I just felt like it felt like home. It felt like I deserve to be here. Like I said, I'm a small school kid. Sometimes you have those doubts. You have those. I don't know if I could be here. I'm not ready for that level. Da da da. But at the end of the day, um, I was invited. I was given the opportunity to play in front of them, and that just goes to show that I am meant to be there. And when I was playing on the field and did my little workout with them, I definitely felt like it was home. You know what I'm saying? If I felt like this is where I'm gonna play at. This is maybe not play at, but this is the level, and this is nothing. This is nothing crazy. This is nothing that I can't get to. This is nothing that a place where I shouldn't be at. You know what I'm saying? So it was just overall a cool experience, because it was something I learned about myself. Like, hey man, like it's time to go. Like, this is you. This is the level we're gonna play at. Like, it's here. You know what I'm saying? It's time to go. And yeah, it was definitely a fun experience. I mean, I was playing safety. I was doing positional work as a safety, and that's the position I'm going into the league with. I'm playing safety, or whatever team, whatever position any team needs me at, I'll play. But I was working out with Brian Belichick, Bill Belichick's son. He was coaching me. That was hell of an experience. Gerard Mayer was there, the head coach. Obviously, saw Dante Hightower. Just some familiar faces. It was definitely cool playing in front of them, and something I'll always remember forever. Regardless of what happens this week, or what I'm saying, I'm just blessed and happy that I was able to be out there and balling in front of the whole staff. So
Yeah, and so then you mentioned like working out for an NFL team. So I just want to ask you, what do you personally bring to an NFL team?
man, a lot. I I think I'm an athletic ball hawk who is always going to be around the ball, no matter what. I'm definitely going to be around the ball, making plays, making big time plays for a team. Is what I'm best at. Speed. I bring speed. I bring power. I bring, just flashy plays and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I get the job done, and that's the biggest thing. I'd say those are, you know, things that I know teams will see on film, that I'm always around the ball. I'm always in on tackle. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting off blocks. I'm always, making plays and making big splash plays that teams need in big time moments. And yeah, man, we'll see. We'll see what happens from here. Hopefully, the film speaks for itself, and I don't really have to talk too much about what I bring to the table. But yeah, man, I just can't wait.
And we were mentioning what you bring on the field. So now I want to go a little bit more off the field and ask you, is there any part of your journey that like you think differs you from the rest of the people declaring for the draft?
I don't really know. The only story I know is my own, for real. So I don't really like to compare myself to other people in in that way. We all go through things. We all have hardships in life, and it may be in a different way or different details, but overall, we all go through things that we all have to, adjust to, and just like adversity, when adversity strikes, you just gotta be able to put your foot down and conquer it. And I think I'm very good at that when adversity strikes. I just put my head down and grind, and I don't make no excuses. I don't give up. I've never quit a day in my life. So I think that's what really empowers me. And something strong about my personality trait is I'm not a quitter. I'm gonna fight till the wheels fall off, and give it all I got, man.
You were mentioning, like fighting through adversity. And one of the things I realized before this interview was at one point you were a red shirt. So like, what'd you learn from that experience, redshirting?
It was definitely a learning curve. I'm used to always being out there on the field, always playing, always being that guy. And then when I redshirted, it humbled me for sure, but it made me realize that, I'm not on this field. They redshirted me for a reason, and I gotta figure out that reason. And it took me a while to realize, like, hey, I lack this, I lack that, I lack this. The coach has been coaching for a long time, and I've only been playing. I haven't played at this big level yet, so they definitely know more things than I do. So let me try to address those things, and I was happy. I redshirted, and I grew, mentally, physically. I grew, and that's what I needed. Playing at the next level is no joke. You definitely got to be mature. You definitely got to be mentally strong for sure, and definitely physically strong. And I came in, I was light, so I wasn't in the weight room like I should have been. There was a lot of things I had to learn, and a lot of things I had to, go through to really have that maturity to be playing on the field. Because at the next level, man, it's not all about athleticism. They ask for a lot, and you got to give a lot. And with that, like, you got to be mentally strong. And coming out of high school, you're not fully understanding like the next level as much as you should, because it's new to you. So that being new to me, I didn't know what came with the next level. And being mentally strong, mentally prepared, and having your coaches trust you is the biggest things that they need you to, grow on. And having a redshirt year is definitely a blessing in disguise, because I didn't realize that I was immature. I lacked a lot of things that were needed to play at the next level that weren't athleticism. And as the year went on, I was roommates with upperclassmen that year, so they were in my ear a lot, giving me good wisdom. I had my buddy Shoddy, Malik Wilder. I had Aaron Parker, who's in the league right now. I had a lot of good influences around me, and telling me, "Hey, Jarrett, like, you just got to do this, you got to do that. They're looking for this. It's not all about this. Like, you got all the athleticism in the world, so clearly it's nothing on that part." it's something else. It's you're lacking something else. So, the maturity is one of the big things I lacked, as far as just understanding like what I need to grow in as a man, as a person, as a player, as a teammate. And I just had to work on building up trust and having my players, teammates, and coaches being able to trust me. And that was the biggest learning curve, I'd say, from redshirting. And I wouldn't take it back for any second, because I definitely grew as a man and as a player. So yeah, I'd say that for that redshirt year, that's what I had learned throughout that experience.
Yeah, and we were mentioning, we're talking a lot about your football career now and in college. I want to go back to the very beginning. When and where did you start playing football?
So I grew up in Franklin, Massachusetts, and I played Pop Warner with Franklin youth football, and I I was the little Franklin stud, the fast running back, but also could play wide receiver, but also could play safety, could also play linebacker. I was all over the field at Pop Warner, and I loved the sport. And my journey's actually funny. So I played Pop Warner all the way up until seventh grade. I went to this private school up in Boston at Catholic Memorial, and I played my seventh grade year, and I ended up not I played seventh and eighth grade year, and then I ended up not playing my freshman and sophomore year because I started to take basketball very serious, and I didn't grow. I was very I was very small, very skinny, and I didn't hit puberty yet, or I didn't hit my growth spurt yet for real, and I ended up giving up football because I was just smaller than everybody, and I was getting hurt, and I was just like, yeah, this might not be my path. Football might not be my path, because I was my family's a big basketball family, and I lived in the court, lived and breathed on that basketball court. I was there every day, hours and hours, and I just loved basketball. And so I ended up making the hard decision to quit ninth grade, 10th grade, and then 10th grade summer going into 11th grade. My one of my coaches who actually coached against me in Pop Warner growing up, we had like a little rivalry. It was Franklin versus Randolph, and we would always give them good games, and they would always give us good games, and it was just good competition. And my dad happened to be friends with one of the coaches there, and he ended up years later ending up at the high school I was at coaching, and his younger son ended up going to Catholic Memorial as well. So I was in the hallway one time, and they were lacking a safety, and he came up to me and he was like, "Hey, buddy, like, I know the type of athlete you are. You're a baller. You're a killer, like, on the field. Like, um, we really need a safety. We really need a dog like you back out there on the field for this upcoming year." And I was like, man, I gave football up. I was very good when I was younger, but I'm skinny, frail basketball player now. Like, I'm gonna get hurt out there. I can't let that affect my college career for basketball. So we ended up talking for about probably an hour. And long story short, I told him, I said, "Hey, I'll give it a shot. I'll come like try out, see the team, see how I like it for the first few weeks, and see if I want to get back into it for real. But I still need some time to think on it." So gave me a couple weeks. Couple weeks went by, and I talked to my parents about it, and I was like, "Hey, like, we gotta have we can't close all doors. We gotta see." He's talking at my size, as far as my height at that time, and the weight they can get me at. This is like prime D1 football player like size. Like, you're gonna get scholarships. There's 22 players on the field in football. There's only 10 on the court in basketball. You know what I'm saying? There's only 5 scholarships to give on the basketball team, and there's so many for football. So your chances of getting a scholarship and playing at the next level for any sport is going to be football. And I really thought about that, and I was like, wow, he does have a good point. My whole goal is to get to college, no matter what it is, football or basketball. So I ended up getting back out on that field and ended up balling out my junior year. Put on the weight I needed to, balled out. with a few injuries, but I ended up sticking it out to my senior year and had a crazy senior year, balled out, got the offers I needed. And to this day, I'll forever thank Jamal Griffin, Coach Griffin, for getting me back on that field because, without him, I probably wouldn't even be where I am right now because I probably would be still playing basketball and wouldn't have went to the field again if it wasn't for that conversation. So my football journey is funny, but it's a good one for sure.
And then I asked you on the football journey, who was your favorite football player growing up?
Oh, that's a good one because I'm a defensive player, right? And you'd think I'd pick a defensive player, but all time growing up is Tom Brady. Come on now, I'm from Boston. I'm that's forever gonna be my favorite player. He's a goat. He's made my watching football experience very fun, and yeah, I'd say Tom Brady probably. Teddy Bruschi if we're going defense. I'm a big Pats guy, so.
And then you were mentioning playing basketball a little bit. I actually did find out that you have a sister that plays basketball. So is there athletic competition within the family? I gotta know.
Oh yeah. My sister to this day thinks she's a better basketball player than me, and she might. Yeah, she might be a better shooter, but basketball player, I don't know, man. I beat her. I beat her all the time. Like it's definitely competition in this house though, because she can definitely shoot it, and she's definitely a good basketball player. I mean, she played at one of the highest levels, and did her thing over there. But I'd say I got it in the family for basketball. But that's just because, maybe size and stuff. I dominate in the size part, so it's a little bit easier to get points and stuff. But nah, my sister, she's a good basketball player. We've always been going at it since we were younger. She would be hanging out with me and my buddies playing basketball, and I'd be at the courts with her. We'd go work out with each other, so it was good. We had each other when it came to basketball and working out and having a little partner. But yeah, that's definitely where I get a little bit of my competitive nature from. Is definitely me and my sister going at it from a young age, and even my dad. I get it from my dad for sure because he's very very competitive and he likes playing basketball as well. He wasn't a basketball player growing up, but as he had me and my sister, he ended up getting more involved in the sport of basketball, becoming pretty good himself because he's an athlete. And yeah, we definitely. Well, my mom is the hooper though of the family. She's been hooping since she was a kid. She played in high school. She didn't play in college, but she was a lefty killer, man. She had that that deadly lefty knockdown shot, and so we got the shooting from her for sure, but we got our competitive nature from my dad. He's definitely a competitive guy, man. I'll tell you that.
And then speaking of competition, there's a question I have to ask you is, because sometimes when it comes to getting scouted and stuff, like we were talking earlier about the whole FBS versus FCS thing, how do you address those critics who criticize those small school players for not being able to have that Power 5 competition?
Yeah, it's like I said, we play them. We play them once a year. Every year, we get an FBS game in, and you could just look at the scores. I mean, skill wise, I don't think there's much of a difference. That's my biased opinion on it. A lot of people will agree with me too. Skills. So we got the skill groups. I feel like are pretty much, I would say the same, if not a little tiny difference. But I that's as far as overall average. But best of the best FCS, best FBS, there's not much of a difference skill position wise. Where the difference comes into play is the D line and the O line, for sure. The size of those guys, that's what I would say would be the biggest difference between FBS, FCS. And I know a lot of guys can agree with me on that. But look at our pro day numbers comparing to FBS. There's a lot of guys in the FCS that should have been playing in the FBS at the highest level, but odds weren't in their favor. Things didn't work out as that. God had another plan for them, and that's just not how it went. But if you're looking at how we're getting drafted, right? We're getting drafted by our pro day, and our pro day numbers, if you're comparing FCS to FBS, I mean, you're getting a lot of D2, D3 guys even going to the league at the next level. I mean, that's what they're looking for at the next level, is athleticism and what you could bring to the table as an athlete. Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, you're a football player, so you already know, the ropes and everything like that. But the things like what you can't learn in college, they can teach us at the next level. As far as playing in front of bigger crowds, the popularity, the fame, the publicity, da da da. As far as playing the game of football, though, I personally think I could go up against any FBS player in the country and be like, oh dang, who's this guy? Why is this kid at Alabama and this kid was at URI? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an athlete. I'm always compete against anybody that anybody ever puts in front of me. That's just the way I am, the way I was raised, and the way I see things. I think I can ball out with anybody in the country, anybody in the league. I think my pro day numbers speak for itself, and I still got more in the tank. I still got more to give. I was coming off a little injury. Won't speak too far into details about that, but I'm good now. I'm healthy now. But let's just say I have more in the tank to give. Those pro day numbers are very good. Don't get me wrong, but I have more in the tank, and those numbers are definitely can be improved and are improved right now as we speak. But I'm not complaining. It is what it is. I'm happy where my feet are. God put me in this position for a reason, and I just can't wait to see it all unfold within these next few weeks, this week and everything like that. It's God's plan at the end of the day. I can't change that. The only thing I can do is put the work in, and yeah.
And then, as we wrap up here, you bringing up like this next week upcoming, take me through the anticipation of the draft. And then also, are we throwing a party? Like, we have a watch party? What are we doing for the draft?
Nah, man, I'm probably just going to be with my family. My dad's coming Tuesday, so we'll start off Tuesday. My dad, he got his two best friends. I consider my uncles. We're going to, get together, pray, have a big little praying session. And we call it quiet times. Just thanking God for me being in the position I am, and what's going to happen next. It's all in God's hand, and we have faith and trust that it no matter what happens, it's for the best, and that's God's plan. And we hope that I get picked up and get that call. But if not, we're just gonna have to put our head down and grind a little harder and work even harder and put in the work to get that call eventually. But I'm gonna start it off a big prayer session tomorrow, and then going into the draft, I'm probably just gonna be with my family and hanging out, watching round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hopefully I'll get that call around 7. That'd be lovely. Or if not, undrafted free agent, or any invite to anything, just getting my foot in the door. Like I said, we're a small school guy. It's hard for the NFL to take a chance on a small school guy because it's their jobs at stake too if they're wrong with their decision. And I know what goes into play with this, and I'm ready for it all. I just need my foot to be in the door, because once my foot's in the door, it's all go, no breaks, and we're gonna get after it, and we're gonna show them that these small school kids can really ball out. And they should have taken their chances on me earlier, but it is what it is, and I can't wait to ball out and compete and show these scouts and coaches that Jarrett Martin is definitely NFL ready, and NFL is not something that he can't conquer. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I just want to say good luck to you, and thank you for coming on the show. Really, we appreciate you giving your time.
Of course, dude. Of course. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem, man. But once again, this was DJ Harding, and you were listening to Conversation Corner.